Welcome to the morning woods of Empty Mountain. I'm hoping this old digital camera will pick up the sounds happening right now in the nearby forest. So there's a logging operation in the National Forest, which our property backs up against this way to the west. And I've come up here. This is Morning Sun Meadow. This is a little area we set up for when we host our days of mindfulness. We come up here. And since it's summertime, I've been coming up here in the mornings to do my sitting meditation session, which I just finished. Show the little altar I set up. Rocks and sticks and feathers. Oh my! So, this last week actually at Sangha, I was sharing about a current practice that I'm doing, which is I've been practicing to keep my heart open and warm towards the loggers. And I'm not having trouble with that because of what they're doing, their profession. Because it is truly hard on my heart to have the trees come down and to see them go by on the logging trucks and to hear the saws and see in real time the changes that are happening because the logging operation is just right on the other side of our property line. But we're in this really small patch of private land surrounded by thousands of acres of national forest. So this is all public land. Most of it's public land around us. We walk up there a lot and keep an eye on how things are changing up there. Sound is so strange sometimes. It just sounds like they're like right here. Like when I was sitting this morning with my eyes closed, I felt like I could open my eyes and there'd just be like a large truck right in front of me. I knew that wasn't possible, or it's very unlikely, but it just sounds so close sometimes. It's so funny. And other times the sound is different and it doesn't sound as close. But I've been working to keep my heart open and warm towards the loggers, in large part because I'm affronted and disturbed by all the noise. I feel like it's a pretty universal human experience to not love living next to a construction site with construction noises happening every day. And mostly every day, Monday through Friday. Fortunately, it's not the weekends. Most days, Monday through Friday, there's logging noises happening. And they start early. I wake up early and I love the early morning time and the quiet and the stillness. And I have a lot less of that now because the logging trucks will start coming up sometimes before 5 a.m. So they're starting early. It's still dark out. So it's an interruption. It's a disturbance to what I really appreciate here in the woods especially, which is the quiet and the stillness. And I'm in the habit right now of sitting outside because I can, because it's summer and it's a short window of time when it's comfortable enough for me anyway to sit outside in the mornings. And I've been sitting up here in the meadow, which is closer to the logging, and so like pretty much every morning I sit with these noises of the trucks and the saws going, and the hearing of, like, literally I can hear the crunching of wood under the tires and stuff because it's so close. And so, like, it's just an interesting experience. So I'm really, trying to practice sending compassion and like genuine, like human love to the loggers, because I'm interested in, and I want to not other them, like not see them as something separate. I want to regard them as kin, like as brothers. And so it's something I've interested in and it's been challenging. And like that's where the growth happens too, right? Or the challenge of the practices, like the practice is just easy all the time. I'm not sure I'm really like doing it right. So this is a current challenge, and this is something I'm practicing largely right now on the cushion every morning, is embracing the loggers, embracing the noise, like having it be part of my experience, not separate, not different, not other, not bad, not wrong. Like, man, it's freaking good practice there, because how we can other people and separate ourselves from others, man, it can be really subtle. Like, and as soon as I start thinking like, oh, this is justified, like I'm justified in my feelings of like, no, like, I know that that's a red flag. I know that's something for me to pay attention to and look more deeply into. Because I don't want to close my heart, and that's something that's really important to me. Like, I don't want to close my heart. I want to pay attention to when I'm closing my heart, to people, to experiences. And so, it's been a fruitful practice, and it's been challenging, and it continues for sure. The other day, actually, it was helpful. My stepson is here right now, and so Jaden, my stepson, Mike, and I, we walked up there to take a look at the ever-changing landscape up there, and there happened to be one of the loggers was coming up later than usual, because it was like maybe 6 or 7 p.m. Usually they're done by then. But we took a walk up there, and one of the loggers came in, and Mike decided to go over and talk with him. And Jaden and I hung back. We were like, let Mike can go do that. We're cool back here. And the guy was kind of hooking up something to his loader. And anyway, Mike walked over because he kind of wanted to talk with him anyway, just about, maybe getting some of the logs, seeing if like we could purchase some of the logs that are coming out. And just kind of, form a relationship a little bit. And so he walked over there and talked with him. And Jaden and I hung back. And then Mike was over there for a while. We hung out for a while, being like, okay, well, I don't know how long Mike's going to be over there. We had eyes on him, and then after a while, we're like, Jaden and I were like, okay, we're just going to head back to the cabin, and Mike will find us. So he came back to the cabin, and I don't know. I mean, it was probably 20 minutes later. Mike came back down to the cabin, and the first thing he said was, I made a new friend. And it made me so happy to hear that. Like, it brought me, like, it was just like this ping of gladness. I was like, great, this is amazing, and then he shared with us like all the stuff they talked about, and he got, more information about the crew, which is like this guy and his sons out here, his adult sons. And we also learned that they're going to be here a while. Apparently, this crew is on like a 3-year contract. And so this is year 1. They started logging here in maybe December or January. And I've recently been getting impatient. I'm like, God, how much longer are they going to be here? They're just like here every day, like and it's been all year. We got back this winter in February, so it was still winter, and they were out there. And Anyway, I've been like, gosh, how long is this going to go on for? Now I know at least another 2 years. You know, I'm a planner, so I like to know. So I'm like, okay, this is helpful to know because, like, this is a long haul practice I'm going to be doing. Like, it's not going to end at the end of the summer. It's going to continue because this particular patch they're on is going to kind of stay here, and I think this area right behind our property is kind of their staging area. So even as they go up the hill further, like, they're going to use this as kind of like their base. So I've got another couple of years. So this will be a practice that I have for a little while, which is good because, like, hard practices, like everything takes practice. So for this to be challenging and for me to have a fair amount of time to work with it, I think you know, might be fruitful. You know, ultimately a good thing happening. So. All right, I'm gonna head back down. Maybe I'll take you along for the journey. That's one of my newer made signs. So here's our little area we set up for our programs. So that's the east. The sun comes up here, which is why part of why we call this Morning Sun Meadow, because it lights this up first on our property here. Anyway, in the canyon that we reside in. There's our little cabin in the big woods. Stop and do a a sign tour on our way down. There's a series of signs on this trail, however, that only work when you're going up. So we'll turn around and do that. Okay, and one last sign to round out the tour. Power to the poets.